I want that pizza.
Well,
And like, even when I have a chance to get a pizza, like Scipolini's, I used to be like, let's go to Scipolini's.
we'll get back to the pizza episode.
And now I'm
I
just like,
promise.
man, fuck Scipolini's.
You definitely need to update on the pizza episode.
Right?
But
Mellows? Fuck Mellows.
we're here, like, we have to talk about Underground Agent 6.
Oh, shit.
Hi, I'm Chris Lujan.
And I'm Bindu.
This is the I Ams. Which is probably our biggest, it was our coming together, you know.
Yep.
Hello everyone, this is your producer Maceo here. I just wanted to quickly cut in and say that Underground Agent 6 was a band that BINDU and Chris were a part of in the mid-90s. They don't really explicitly say that it was a band, so just need to pop in here and give you that little background before the episode starts. Thank you.
1996, the number. Another summer.
So let's see.
Get down, sound of the fucking
I was in little bands. I knew Bruce. We won't get into our prehistory, but like, I knew who you were in high school.
I knew who you were in high school.
Bruce is your cousin.
My younger cousin.
And I was friends with him.
Correct.
Right? So we don't need to get into any more history yet besides that.
My very talented, charismatic cousin that is taller than me, more handsome than me.
He is a handsome motherfucker.
And more talented, video game master, genius level,
Yeah.
guitarist guy.
Bruce. So I was friends with him.
Right.
Maybe even in junior high. Because I know I was friends with him when I was a freshman in high school, but he was still in the 7th or 8th grade. Anyways.
Yeah, Bruce has a savant something. Yeah.
Bruce is great.
Yeah.
So I was in bands in the East Bay. So I had a band called Hubcap, which was a like 3-piece funk band.
So you graduated 1992.
Yeah.
And so Hubcap starts what year? 94?
Probably.
94.
You know, I was playing a lot of jazz stuff. Just me and Terrence, we were doing like a 2-guitar thing. We were both playing guitar. I mostly did rhythm guitar. He mostly did the leads, the melodies, and the solos and stuff like that. But while we had that going, I also was like, let me form a funk band out of this. So we got Thaxter Daggs on the drums, and I started playing around as a band called Hubcap, right? And I mean, you could take it from there. Somehow you guys got to know who Hubcap was, you know?
Right.
So we'll get to this in a second.
Me and Bruce
Yeah.
were big into the music scene at that time.
Unbeknownst to me.
And we come from a place, like we talked about, a triangulation in between Vallejo, fucking
What?
Oakland, fucking Blow the Whistle, and Stockton with the Diaz brothers. A very tough area. Very hip-hop, R&B central area.
Right.
But
True.
the white in me wants some fucking Pantera and some Metallica. And Bruce also, his mom is white like mine. And we needed some of that fucking rock and or roll. Right? So we took a guitar because we want to play electric guitar. But before you could play electric guitar, you got to play acoustic guitar. So you take a group, you take the class in DVC.
Right. You
acoustic
did
guitar.
DVC guitar classes.
So we're
I
talking
did
1994
LMC.
or
Yeah.
1993, 1994.
Hubcap is born from LMC. But yeah, go ahead.
So I'm in DVC. I'm with Bruce. We're taking an acoustic guitar class, right? And we passed the class. It's great. We love it. Right? We finish on our final was we do Nothing Else Matters acoustically, a Metallica slow ballad.
How did you do with that?
It was amazing, except we were both supposed to sing. And when it came time to sing, Bruce pussed the fuck out because he gets scared. And I sang and played, and that's how I became the singer because of
Okay.
that. The finale.
Betrayal.
Betrayal. He's a punk. Fucking punk ass coward.
Well, we already said he was a great guy, so we could say he's an asshole too, right?
I'm his older cousin. I can talk shit.
All right.
And he's laughing right now watching this shit because he knows it's true.
Okay.
Because you know what that song is? When you're so close. You know what I had to
Yeah,
make dickhead face and everything by myself. Fuck you, Bruce.
Okay.
Right?
That's fun.
So as we get out, now we passed the prerequisite. Now we can start the electric guitar class. And now we get to go in the guitar store, buy a fucking axe, right?
Go buy a Ibanez or something.
And that motherfucking teacher makes us form a band, and the only way to get a grade is you have to play amateur night Sunday in Walnut Creek.
At Abernathy's.
Oh
my God.
And you have to form a band. And we're like, motherfucker, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And now we're in Coffee and Cream, and we fucking see you and Terrence.
Right, which our guitar duo was called Coffee and Cream.
And I'm like, no way.
You meant you were in the Coffee Cavern.
We're in the Coffee Cavern.
The band is called Coffee and Cream.
I'm in this little strip mall fucking coffee place.
Yes.
This is before Starbucks.
The Coffee Cavern.
Before Starbucks gets big. Mm-hmm. And there's still So I Married an Axe Murderer coffee places all over the place.
Right.
Right? And so I'm in there.
Man.
Whoa, man. I'm in there with my cousin Bruce, where we need a bass player and a drummer.
Uh-huh.
And here, lo and behold, here's some fucking alumni, Pittsburgh Pirates,
Right.
on stage playing right now.
And I know who you are, and I'm friends with Bruce.
Right. And so we're like, oh shit, right? And that's when we learn about Hubcap.
Which was basically Coffee and Cream
With
was the jazz version. You add Thaxter Daggs.
the amazing Thaxter Daggs.
Yeah, and then Hubcap becomes like the funk band.
So we see Hubcap, and we see Thaxter break away from his kit
At Cafe LJ's?
and go through the audience beating on people's drinks as they're drinking.
Uh-huh.
Like, you are the baddest
True
motherfucker
showman.
I have ever seen in my life. And so now I'm just thinking, if I could get Chris Lujan and I could get Thaxter and Bruce and us, we could fucking form a band. This would be great. So we didn't get that. So me and Bruce formed a band, and since we weren't with real musicians, we were doing cover songs, buying all the tablatures of Chili Pepper songs,
The songbooks.
and Metallica
basically.
songs,
Yeah.
right? And
this album
Right.
tabbed out for
and
guitar.
we named our band Spank, and
Spank.
and that was for the semester, and we had to perform live, and so we
okay.
did. And so, performing live, we did all that without you and Thaxter,
Right.
and we did it.
Spank.
Yeah. And so we did all that. We got our final. We passed the class. We got an A or whatever. And then it was over. Band's over.
Yeah.
And we wanted something else. And that's when
If we
saw
sign up
Hubcap.
again, we could start another band.
And that's when Bruce and I approached you. Because we saw you with Hubcap. And we're like, holy fuck. We could be like the new, like, red hot chili peppery
Right.
thing. This, what the fuck is this music?
At this time, you were thinking that we would be playing Chili Peppers tunes and Metallica tunes and
Correct.
using those books.
Because I loved the idea of performance. I loved the idea of music, but I was extremely immature. And you were like, son, fuck all that bullshit. We got to make our own shit. And that's how it all started.
All right. Yeah, because I remember getting together with you and Bruce. Maybe I got together with just Bruce first.
I think it was just you and Bruce. First.
Yeah, and we were going over, like, he had the Chili Peppers books, and it was basically like, these are the songs we're gonna play, And I was just like, why would we do that?
Which is a perfectly good question.
Yeah, like, why don't we, like, I understand the style you want to do, but why don't we just do a band that's like that, but not, it's like, why don't we write our own shit?
Great fucking question.
So it pretty immediately turned into Bruce going, well, I have a couple of these things, and like Unwind was one of them, which is like one of the first songs we wrote, because he had parts,
Right.
But for some reason, in both of your minds, it was never going to be an original band. It was just like, we're playing Chili Peppers tunes and Metallica tunes and stuff.
Right, because we had caught the bug of live performance.
Right.
But we were skating off the backs of already done work, not understanding.
Yeah,
how...
I guess I was giving you the like, oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Not you'll feel like fakes, but like, oh, you need to express yourself for real.
Sure. Well, it's just like when I see someone that has a love for any kind of pop culture, and I know better, I, instead of clowning them, make them feel stupid, I'll encourage it.
Yeah.
But then try to guide them to where the real shit is, right? This is where you really want to be, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of what you did to me into music.
Yeah.
And that's when I started learning about Medeski, Martin, and Wood, and shit like that.
I've always been, like, I know all the popular bands, right? So it's like Oasis. I don't need to listen to them. They have enough fans. Like, they don't need me. Like, I have
you
this,
got me into Jamiroquai.
Possibly,
Return of the Space Cowboy.
Because back then, and it's kind of what I'm getting at, is it's like I don't like a lot of mainstream artists. When a mainstream artist actually pops through, it's interesting to me. Like Doechii or Billie Eilish. Like, those are mainstream artists that, like, I love them. But for the most part, I go on these little side quests to find all the other bands, Maybe this band only pressed 500 of this vinyl because they're a smaller band.
I love that.
So, like...
you're my music Gandalf now.
Kind of.
I'm just in the Shire.
Yeah.
And you come and I'm like, Gandalf, what kind of new music do you have?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, check this out.
So, I go... like, my record collection is basically like a lot of oddball records, because if I want that record from Soul Live, I could get it at any time. Like, it's always, they always have it at the store. Like, I don't have a lot of essential albums because I feel like, I could get that at any time. So, like, my record collection is kind of off the beaten path, which I guess is what I was even back to then. Like, I'm telling you, like, you don't have to do that. Look at this other world of music there is, And I think that led to us doing originals, like, pretty right away,
Well, we have it unfinished.
A whole album.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, the Severance theme, that doo-doo-doo, it's total Bleak Plague.
It is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
Yep.
Right when I heard it, I was like...
all day yesterday.
I'm like, we did this in the 90s, man.
Yeah.
The most popular television show right now in the world.
Yeah, same melody, pretty much. They've been married in my head for like 2 days. So, let's see. So, it was me and you and Bruce. Mm-hmm. And we must have just been writing songs without a drummer, right?
We were searching for the unfillable drummer.
Right.
It was a while until we got Thaxter.
Right, I know. Yeah. He is basically the final, and probably who you would say is the drummer of Underground Agent 6.
That's when it just felt like...
But it took a while to get there.
Right, because we went through Eric.
Yeah. Did we have anyone before Eric? I don't think we did. Did we? Was it at the point where it's like, okay, we have enough songs, we're ready to maybe start gigging, we need a drummer, and then we brought Eric in?
I want to say Eric was the second one, but I can't think of who the first one was.
Me neither. Sorry, first one.
Sorry, first one.
If you're watching this, sorry,
you obviously had fucking zero personality.
Best.
Fuck.
So yeah. So we did go through the... So we basically got to the point where I think we had enough songs that we were thinking, oh, we could maybe go do shows. But we didn't have the drummer spot.
Right.
And then I think, did Bruce meet Eric at Guitar Center? Because Bruce used to work at Guitar Center.
No, dude.
Oh, man, this is going to be stripper talk.
So I am loss prevention.
Yeah.
And not only am I loss prevention, Target calls it asset protection, but I'm so good at it, I'm district trainer. So there are 13 stores in the district. So I'm constantly going from place to place, mostly combative stores, to deal with the hostile shoplifters.
Yeah.
Because I got paid to beat people the fuck up. It was back when you can do that.
He was the muscle.
We're talking about before CDs were the dominant shit, no cell phones. So no one's recording TikToks or anything. I'm whooping your ass, right?
Yeah.
So the Walnut Creek Target in the fancy Walnut Creek place is right next to BART.
Okay.
So people from Oakland would come on BART and ransack that fucking Target.
I understand.
So they hired me to go to that Walnut Creek Target to fix it. While I fixed it, I made friends with all the management. Eric was the opening early manager, the receivings manager.
At Target in Walnut Creek?
Target.
So it wasn't Bruce who brought him in, it was you.
I brought
Bruce. What a
Bruce.
fucking asshole, you bitch.
Listen, fucking asshole. I brought Bruce into Target Target.
Okay.
He became friends with Eric, and he brought Eric in, but that's the relationship.
Okay.
Eric knew of me, but he was intimidated by me. Because I was basically, if you know Star Wars, I was Boba Fett. I was the Target guy.
Have we talked about proof of purchases?
Well, Star Wars is a whole... I would get hired. I was the Target guy, but I never had to wear the uniform. I wore whatever I wanted. I had long hair.
Yeah, you did.
And my whole idea was I look like I'm shopping and I catch the shoplifters. Well, in the Bay Area, there was rings of shoplifters. So there were professionals.
There's like, now it's brazen.
Correct. Except now people have guns and they have no problem killing you. Which is why my brothers were like, bro, just get out of that line of work. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But in the mid-90s, that shit was fun. So anyways, because I brought my wife into Target, at that Target, and that's when she rose and became a salaried manager and all that bullshit. And I brought Bruce in there, and he was working the toy department, seasonal, because he likes toys and all that shit, and that's how he was getting his cash. And so he met Eric, and then Eric came in, and so Eric was this weird psychopath narcissist.
So you both knew him from Target.
Right, and he was like this bodybuilder,
right?
Crystal blue eyes,
shaved his legs,
the most attractive
for muscle
dude,
reasons,
but so weird, so insecure.
Yeah,
it didn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, I look like a caveman.
He was like surfer dude. Did you say that? He had like
no, he was Point Break for sure.
Surfer, but with short hair.
Yeah,
surfer dude look.
What he looked
well
like,
coiffed.
He looked like fucking Chad Smith, young Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Is what he was trying to look like.
But not that hair though.
He had short.
Yeah, but Chad Smith,
bleach blonde.
If you know the story of Chad Smith, they told him to cut his hair. And he was, if he wanted to be in the band, cut your hair. And he was like, nope, no thanks. But they were like, oh shit, he's too good. Oh, fuck. He called our bluff.
I love Chad Smith.
He can keep his hair, you know.
And when him and Will Ferrell have a drum off, that shit is so funny.
Yeah, I still can't tell if Chad Smith is mad about that.
He has to be mad about that.
Anyways, watch the videos.
Right.
So you brought Eric in. We did a handful of gigs with Eric.
Bruce brought Eric in.
You both, well, whatever.
Guilty
you both,
by association, sure. Yeah. He comes in, and he's a drummer that can't share. He can't.
Can we put it like this?
There was, how do you?
Beep.
He couldn't, there was no.
Well, from what I understand, there was some kind of, it had to be before text, right? This was before text. It must, I don't know how we communicated with each other, passing love notes back and forth or some shit.
We had Sky pagers. Fuck yeah, young Maceo.
I think there was something Eric said to Bruce. I don't even, or somehow Bruce learned that Eric said to somebody, whether it was Bruce or somebody else, that like, I don't even like funk. Right. And so at that point, it was like, so I think we were already not butting heads, but felt some kind of weirdness. Like something's out of place. Yeah, something's out of place here.
Yeah.
You know.
Trying to put the square in the circle.
But then when he said, oh, I don't even like funk, which is basically what we were trying to do.
Correct.
I think that kind of like sealed the deal of like, okay, this isn't the right guy.
Right.
You know. He was like, I just like hanging out with you guys. I don't even like funk. Which I guess in a way, maybe that's noble. Like maybe he knows he's not the right guy, but he's trying to play what we want. But I didn't take it as such then. Make sure to like and subscribe and join our Discord and Patreon. Check out our links.
Now back to the show.
You know.
I think what's extremely interesting is that Bruce brought you in, but somehow in that foursome, Bruce is very, doesn't like to talk. He's very non-confrontational.
Yeah.
So anytime we would have like group meetings or whatever,
he's outwardly, he's confidently quiet.
Right. He'll be there, but he's strumming the guitar quietly, muting it so it's not bothering anyone.
Right.
But not entering the conversation. And so it's usually just me and you, and we became the peanut butter and jelly of everything at all times.
You think?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then that's when you were like...
Maybe we were each one side of the twisty mustache.
You're like, how are we getting rid of this motherfucker? Well, that's funny, the twisty mustache, because if I'm using Suavecito, right, no problem. But if I get my beard oil, first and then try to use the suavecito? My finger doesn't even pick the suavecito
That
up.
makes sense because you greased up your wheel.
Eric was the beard oil. And he couldn't
Yeah.
stick.
Yeah. So we basically, in a weird...
You asked me how we're going to kick him out.
Yeah. So in a weird...
And I like confrontation, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
get out of here, man.
So in a really weird day, we basically were like... and we had done 3 or 4 gigs with him. It was very early in the band, maybe 3 gigs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, we have to talk to him because this isn't working. And so one day we got together for, I guess, what should have been a rehearsal. And before we got started, we let him know, and we did it in person. I guess this is because it was before everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
you weren't
I
just...
think I remember you telling me.
You weren't
Well, it's
just like
important to do it
emailing
in-
people.
It's
you know?
important to do it in person.
That is true too. Like this is a big thing. This is like breaking up with somebody. You
Right.
don't want to
I
send
wanted
a
to
text,
look him
you
in
know,
the eye.
You're over. All of my stuff will be gone by the time you get home. You know, like
Right. Now,
Yeah.
in one of the details that we have not mentioned
Yeah.
is that he's like 8 years older than us.
Is he that much older than
Yeah,
us?
he's like fucking 30-something pretending to be young.
Yeah, that was the thing. It's
And he
like
was this
his whole
bodybuilder.
vibe.
He was so handsome.
I'm younger than I appear to be.
Correct. On a predator level. Like, very aloof. Like, he'll
This is all stuff I don't know about.
he'll answer you, but he won't give you any answer in the answer that he gave you. Just a whole bunch of words, right? Some bullshit.
Some word salad.
His entire persona was like that. And I didn't like him like that as a manager. Because I'm trying to get specificities out of him.
Right.
And he's answering everything esoterically. Like, motherfucker, are we going to play this game?
Right.
Right? And that was his entire persona. So anyways, we kicked him the fuck out. And he had a hard time accepting it.
Yeah, so we get to rehearsal and we basically, the first thing we do is tell him like, hey, this isn't working out. It seemed like the conversation was maybe a half an hour long.
It went a long time because he wouldn't say. It was like breaking up with a girl and her like, all
Kind
that
of.
masculinity went away.
Yeah, it wasn't argumentative.
No, it became desperate. A clingy desperate. Oh, why?
You must remember this better than I do. I'm not saying my memory is different. It's just I don't think I'm remembering it as deep as you are.
So he was deeply affected because we still have to work with this motherfucker.
Right. And he just bought a new drum set, like on the so we kicked him out the day before that, not the day before, but the last time we had all seen each other before then, we played a gig and he brought his brand new drum set to this gig. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, like I feel bad, like, oh man, now we have to like, he just bought all, whatever. I know why he bought it too, and it's,
I mean,
But so we, for a half an hour, we like told him that it's over, right? And he just wanted to hang out. He just wanted to continue hanging out. Like, it's like, well, we're not rehearsing, but we were supposed to be getting together between 2 and 5. It's only 2:30. Let's hang out. Right? That's kind of the attitude he had, right?
yeah, but we were kind of sick of him at that point because he was like, okay, just to give you an idea, I'm hungry. He's like, oh, I got hot dogs, right? And so he grilled some hot dogs. And we were like, oh, awesome. And we go to eat them. What the fuck is this? And he was like looking at us to see our response. They were tofu dogs. Now, he didn't tell us this.
Sure.
And it's like, that's the kind of guy he was.
Like me, right? Are we recording?
No,
Like me, I gave them bison burgers one day
I didn't eat it. Not me.
as a, hey, check this. So yeah, I might not be any better than Eric. God damn.
Man.
I wasn't eating burgers.
So
that
anyways,
way,
Bleak
so-
plague.
yeah. Which came out of the movie. We went to see the movie The Game, and then we wrote Bleak Plague, which is probably I don't want to say it's our best song, but it was our most epic in terms of length.
Absolutely.
At least,
And Severance owes us a royalty check. Yep. Yep.
So we rehearsed at Bruce's parents' house.
They lived.
They had a detached garage.
They were very much like
I think it
how
was detached.
how Batman lives away from Gotham City.
Yeah.
They lived like that.
dirt road.
Yeah,
Or gravel road.
And they were on like what, 2 acres or whatever.
Something like that.
So their garage was separate from the house,
Right.
And it cleared out so we could perform in it.
Yeah, there were ostensibly no neighbors.
Right.
The neighbors were far enough away that it wasn't an issue.
So we're going all in,
Yeah.
and once a week, every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Good times.
So
Making our own music and shit.
So one day we're rehearsing, right? And we're doing our thing. I have my Ampeg, big crazy get up. Thaxter is there. We have to get to where Thaxter is in the story. So Thaxter's there. Bruce is there. We're rehearsing. Audrey's probably there. Wow, that probably came out of my mouth weird. Audrey was probably there.
Not yet. Oh, yes. You're right.
And so we start to see like,
You're right.
because we would rehearse with the garage door open because like they're far enough away, no one gives a shit, right?
Now, Audrey was a stripper
Yeah,
from San Francisco that saw our band
yeah,
and fell in
I
love,
guess that's why
fell in love with the guitarist,
Yeah,
my cousin. And it
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, now we got strippers a part of the band.
Yeah.
Like, okay, anyway.
So we're rehearsing, doors open, playing our songs as loud as could be. Brandon screaming into the mic. Pit bulls are running by,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Pit bull, like
Now, but we're from a part of town where there's always pit bulls.
Kind
And
of.
people are afraid of pit bulls.
Yeah.
But people are afraid of our town.
and these pit bulls were running very free.
Like
There was nothing holding these pit bulls back.
the company of wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
So-
were listening to Metallica for sure.
Yeah, the pit bulls
The
were.
pit bulls.
So, pit bulls going back and forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's time to, I think it must have been like just time to take a break, right? Because we would rehearse, because we were all homies.
Right.
It was back when you could hang, like right now, like I can't go rehearse at someone's house, but then we're also hanging out for hours.
No,
now it's all
hanging out.
appointments.
We're homies, and we're in basically our studio in the countryside.
Yeah.
No one around.
And we were young enough to where like this is just what we're doing. We could hang out
The
for
next
however
door
many
neighbors
hours.
had almost a mini farm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is like we would get together, hang out for an hour,
Yeah.
go rehearse for
Yeah.
40 minutes,
Chicken
come back
tacos
in.
from Flamencos.
Yes, exactly.
Fuck yeah.
That's exactly where I'm getting at. We did that. But like we would hang out for hours. Like we're done rehearsing, now we're hanging out for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like that's how it was then, So we're on one of these breaks where we're probably going to go get tacos or burritos or whatever each person wanted,
Right.
And we go out of the garage, and so the neighbors that you're talking about with the little farm, the pit bulls had attacked their goats.
Right. But it's not a little farmy goat.
No.
No, it's a Studio Ghibli
This is a
majestic
big
giant
motherfucker goat. Yeah.
came out of the forest part god goat.
Yeah, like a goat.
Yeah, but it's fucking Adam's apple. Chris
Yeah.
Lujan is hanging out.
Its whole jaw is gone and its tongue is just like hanging down. And we're like, oh shit, right? The lady who owned the property or whatever was out there kind of freaking out. I mean, there was nothing we could do, and plus we got to eat.
I have a question. What
Yeah.
does this have to do with Underground Agent 6?
Because
We were
this
practicing.
was at an Underground Agent.
We were-
this is just part of the.
We were wrapping up rehearsal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the cops come. I can't remember if they caught the pit bulls or not.
That's not a cop's problem. That's animal control.
I guess.
I just remember how gruesome it was.
but
because when
I
you
believe
think
the
of
cops came.
you think of goat, you think of like Billy Goat,
Yeah.
like cartoon
Like
goat.
a cute little mother.
No.
The ones they do yoga with.
No, this was like almost the size of a horse goat.
This is a Tyrannosaurus goat.
Like like a Satan goat. Like one of those.
Yeah.
And now his mandible that comes together on the bottom.
Yeah,
is
just gone.
It's apart. His
Yeah.
tongue's hanging out. Help me.
So all I know is we go back in to rehearse. And we hear
Yeah, we weren't done.
Yeah, we weren't done.
Right, and then Ray
It was-
Bradbury.
Right before we started making loud noises, we heard gunshots.
Sound of thunder.
Yeah, because they had to put down that goat.
They had to. There was no way to save him. What are they going to do? Bionically give him a jaw? Fuck out of here.
I mean, it
Feed
couldn't
liquids.
eat.
I don't know.
You'd have to put it on a fucking IV.
That
you
pit bull
know?
must have grabbed him by the man.
Yeah, bro.
By the mana and hung and pulled
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Shaking ass.
And I'm a lover of pit bulls. And that was the one time where I was like, oh, goddamn, the stories are true.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's a little werewolf.
They tore that motherfucker apart. Like, to the point of, well, the end.
The sound of thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're like, all right, let's get back
So that
up.
was so let's see, we had Underground Agent 6. So Thaxter came into the band basically through Hubcap, you know.
Thaxter.
Did you know him before that?
Nope.
Okay.
Thaxter is a black man who is black as fuck. Like anytime I would draw him, he'd be like, just draw my eyes and teeth. He was funny as shit.
Yeah. Great
And
sense of humor.
Like Funkadelic on our one Halloween show when he wore the diaper.
Yes.
And he didn't put the lotion on, he had ashy ass knees.
Gotta love him.
Oh, God. He is a drummer in a family of drummers. And he might be, him and Mike Reed, the most talented drummers I've ever seen.
Daxter's raw. His hi-hat work is where it's at, honestly.
He uncomparable.
No one, like, I play with
He's so
funky
good.
ass drummers still. Michael Reed, Micah McLean, they're funky ass drummers.
Yeah.
Thaxter is funky on a different, he's like on a different branch of the tree because of how hi-hat led he plays.
I can't believe I got to share the stage with you guys.
It's crazy.
You guys are like really talented.
Thanks, man.
And I am a sloppy moron. And that luckily happened. Sometimes I'm clever with my hands.
So where can we go with this? So we would do shows, the four of us, at Cocadrees in San Francisco.
That was great. Cocadrees is right around, literally.
Right by Broadway.
Right around the corner from all the strip clubs.
Yeah, yep, right there. We played there on a fucking like 7 or 9 band bill. It
Big
was
Al's.
It was like all afternoon.
Yeah, it was great.
Lindy's in Concord because that was like the local spot.
Right, at the Total Santos.
Yeah. That was probably the place we played the most. We actually played a Starbucks.
Gross.
We played the Starbucks by the Safeway that we go to.
Yeah, over the hill.
That Starbucks.
At Kirker Pass, we did an acoustic set. It was really fun.
Yeah.
It was cool.
That was led by me because I was listening to like John Zorn and Masada and all that weird shit at that time.
You're such a nerd.
Fucking A, bro. Musically, yeah. And so I wanted to do something like that, but with our silly funk rock band.
Dude, where
So
were we?
I played upright bass.
We played one
Thaxter
time.
used brushes only, I think.
Me, you, Bruce, Thaxter, we were on what, Boomerangs? On
Club
Haight Street?
Boomerang, yeah, across from where Amoeba San Francisco is. It's called the Milk Bar now.
We had yeah.
Club
fucking
Boomerang.
Haight Street. We got to play there.
Yep.
There was a time when we had a little tiny mosh pit. That was fun. When we did Raven Ain't No Thunderbird.
One
Fun.
time we were playing at Boomerang, and I think me and Thaxter maybe were going back, like we had already loaded in, but we were coming back to the car to get something. I can't remember what it was. And some girls were like, thought we were leaving and said, you know, like, I'll show you my tits if you give us your space or something like that, you know? Oh. And Thaxter was like, we're not leaving, but show us anyways. And she did. That's who Thaxter is.
Thaxter is
Yeah.
one of the smoothest motherfuckers I've ever met.
He is
in my
pretty
life.
smooth.
Yeah. He calls me to this day. But since he moved to LA, I rarely see him.
Yeah.
He comes
same.
in and out of time.
I do pass by. Every time I go down there too, I'm like, fuck, I should hit Thaxter up.
He's a Giants fan. So he's always coming and hanging out with Ryan Lawler, and they're going, and Ben McAllister, they're going to Giants games.
Yeah.
And I'm over here wearing my Oakland A's hat in the corner where there's no
You've been ostracized.
fucking by everybody, including the Major League Baseball. Baseball dead to me.
Anyways, so let's see. So we played a lot of shows.
Right, but then I can't keep my dick in my pants,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I get a baby pops out.
True.
Right.
Were you married by then?
Yeah,
You were married before she got pregnant.
no,
I can't remember.
I got married before the baby popped up.
Okay, understood.
Yeah,
Understood.
yeah, we were together for 3 years, living together the entire time.
Yeah.
Totally in love. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. And then I like had to save up money to get the ring. And then once I had the money to get the ring, she's like, it's about time, motherfucker. And then we got married.
Yeah.
And then, and then all of
But
that.
you were young. How were you? 20?
24.
Oh, 24?
Yeah, going to
Okay.
25. But I'm Filipino, so I look 17, at the time. But then 1 year later, so we're trying to have the band. I'm having a family, the
Right.
baby, all of that.
Bruce was still working at Guitar Center.
Right. No one else has kids yet. Thaxter don't have any kids yet.
No, Thaxter had kids.
He started to have Winter.
No,
Oh, yeah,
but
he had Winter already.
But he has 2 kids before Winter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, motherfucker.
He had those kids.
Horny bastard. That's right.
I guess I knew them more than you would
Well,
because of the timeline.
but then a year after that is when I had my first son, and then he was born with Campbell-Malik dysplasia.
Right.
And then passed away 6 months later. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like that's right where the band, that was 1999.
I mean, we definitely knew to give you your space.
Right.
There was definitely like not a fuck, when are we going to do shit?
No, it was like, are we ever going to do shit?
No, I think we thought we were. And like, when did we start recording the album? Okay, before the album, we did do a 4-song demo, and I remember doing that in my parents' garage, like just raw and nasty. That's the
Did
one
that with the Tascam?
No, this was it was with ADATs. The ADAT, Alesis ADAT machines, which is a VHS tape based recording thing.
What's a VHS?
Oh my lord.
Anyways.
I know exactly. First of all, so when did we start recording the album, which I think is 12 or 13 songs?
I can't remember, but we did Loose Booty last.
That was after.
right.
Yeah, that
And was like 2000 or 99 or 2000.
well,
So everything you're talking about happened between 1996
okay.
and
So I
1999.
lived with Terrence in 99, and that's where we did Loose Booty.
Okay.
Right? So that had to be 99. So before we got to Loose Booty,
What is loose booty?
Loose Booty is a song, but it was
single.
done in a different way. And that's what I'm getting at. So before Loose Booty, we were recording a whole album, right? It was all originals. There was no covers. Unwind, Apple from the Shyster,
Jump on the Funk Instead.
Red Blood Bluff,
Correct.
Like-
Flicky Flame.
Taxi Driver.
Correct.
Yeah. So we were working on that album, and
Alone and Naked.
Alone and Naked. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Running around into walls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So we could totally issue these as some unofficial I Am soundtrack.
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm all in.
Because what we were doing is we were working on recording an album, and I was doing it because I was into recording arts. Like, that's where I was headed, which is still what I'm doing now. That was kind of the beginning of it all.
So you're asking when? We're talking 97, 98, 99.
Yeah. That's when this was. Yeah.
Yeah?
So
Yeah.
I just remember, I don't know what I was going through. I think you had gone over, well, you definitely had gone over the loss of your son, because there was a song on there.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember what that one was called? It was very lullaby-ish.
No, because I can't. I'll like my heart
Okay.
will snap and I'll start crying.
Yeah. So you had lost your son
Yeah.
by then, because that song about that is on this thing.
Right.
And I don't remember what I was going through. I think
They
Bruce.
call the smart move or something like that.
Yes. So Thaxter kind of stopped showing up to rehearsals because I think he thought we weren't progressing forward, maybe.
Right. And he
We
was
thought
like,
we
I
were,
got to
but-
break down the fucking drum kit, build it back up, and all you motherfuckers just get to walk in and walk out.
Yeah, but
It's like, not Chris. You had to bring it in.
none of this was in a mean way.
No.
It just kind of was like, Matt, I'm just stating the facts. This is how it is. And so he kind of stopped coming. I think he was still working at Guitar Center at this time. And so he was always late to our planned rehearsals because of coming home from that work.
Right.
So I just remember you being in the closet at my apartment, because that was the vocal booth, because it had clothes all around you, which is still a good way to do it.
Sound
So you were recording the vocals for the album, which I believe we have all of the vocals for the album. Some of them might have been intended to do over again, but I can't remember. But you were in the closet and we were recording, and so like I'm at the thing. I must have had a microphone or something because we were able to talk back and forth. And I know I didn't have a talk back at that time. And I think I just said, I think we're done. Do you remember that? Like you were in the closet and I was just like, we were working on vocals and it was just like, I think this band might be done.
Yeah.
You know? And it was never a fight or anything. It was just like, I guess it's just over.
It was like a recognition.
Yeah.
There was no more glue.
And I don't think anyone is mad about it. It was just something that happened.
Yeah.
You know, like naturally. But we do have that album, which is like 12 or 13 songs that is like so close to done, it's ridiculous.
Well, I hadn't even thought of that.
I do hear, you know, the amateur recording engineer in it.
I love that though.
Yeah.
To look back and be like, this is what we were doing in the 90s before the internet, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Look at these garage band ass kids.
So we do have that, which we probably should issue at some point.
Wow,
it could just be a Bandcamp only thing or something.
That's cool.
We'll talk to Thaxter and Bruce.
Yeah. I have to get
So then like I said, we did this at my apartment in Lafayette. So now I move out of Lafayette and I move in with Terrence in Alameda.
Ooh, even fancier.
Right? So Terrence was living in Alameda, needed a roommate, kind of unfortunately, but I moved in there thinking like me and Terrence are the homiest of homies, right? So I moved in there, and then you and Bruce came over someday.
Isn't that crazy? Hold on to that.
Yeah.
That we're just pursuing music at this time back in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
And when we saw...
God damn, this is history, isn't
When
it?
we saw the Alpha Rhythm Kings at fucking Yoshi's, they invited Terrence up on stage.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like, wow, we stuck to it.
Yeah.
Look at this Sandlot. We fucking did. Anyways, continue, man. So
Shit.
You and Terrence.
Yeah. Where was I? So I was living with Terrence.
Right, the apartment.
And that's when...
came to visit.
Yeah, you and Bruce came... I'm good. You and Bruce came over.
Yeah.
I think to work... Maybe it was to work on Loose Booty. Because we had a whole song, but it wasn't part of the album. It
Right.
was written after that.
Correct.
Right? But during the process of us...
No
it was
involvement.
It was like too late to record it, basically. But we had it all written. And I think you guys came over. We must have been like, let's do that. Because there was a program called Acid. It was a music making program.
Right.
And so I would use that to make my
precursor
beats.
to Logic. Right.
Yeah, dude. And I think Acid lived on for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it morphed to, but I was using it. I had some kind of breaks. It was like samples, like really cool analog sounding samples of a drum kit. And so I used Acid to, this is how I had to do everything back then. I used Acid to plan out the drum beat, right?
Interesting.
And then I had to get it onto the ADAT.
Right.
Right?
And that's what became Thaxter 2000?
I would somehow record the computer onto a mini disc recorder.
I remember.
Do you remember a mini disc recorder?
Yes.
And then somehow, I don't know why I couldn't skip this step, I had to go from the mini disc recorder into the ADATs.
Well,
and
the
then
mini disc
record it
recorder
there.
had the optical cable. That's why it was so important.
Is that... I
they
can't
were
remember
portable
why
as
we
well.
needed
They were
that.
so good. God
But
damn.
I had to go through all of those steps to get the beat that I came up with for Loose Booty. Boom. Like lots of bass drum. Boom, 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 like back to back.
It's the best.
And the way that I recorded it into the ADATs was through a Mackie mixer that I cranked the gain on so it sounds distorted. So it also not only sounded like real acoustic drums, albeit on some kind of grid, it sounded natural, but it also had that distorted sound like a Beastie Boys drum break would get.
Yes.
Right? So
what you want kind of a shit.
yeah, so Loose Booty is it might be one of our favorite songs because it happens so quick, this is like my whole musical thing is not overthinking things. That's what I'm trying to do now, thanks to you. So
I would agree that the Underground Agent 6 was necessary to get us to the point where we could come together and make Loose Booty in an afternoon.
yeah, we were that close of homies.
Right.
So you guys came over and it was like, well, here's the bass. Cause like we had the song,
Right.
You know, so it's like I laid down the bass, Bruce laid down the guitar. It was a little bit off. Sorry, Bruce, that's the honest truth. So I had you do it again, and then I used both of them, and it sounded cool.
Right.
Right. And then like I had a Fender Rhodes at that time, and I plinked out some like bullshit on it. None of it is coherent.
It sounds so great. It sounds like you're falling downstairs.
Kind of.
But you land in a breakdance.
Right.
pose.
That is basically what I did on the Rhodes in that song. Yeah.
But you land in a fucking b-boy stance.
True.
At the end.
so then
And so it just works.
you did the vocals, I believe, in the bathroom there.
Yeah.
And then
And that's when Mike Tyson had just said that shit.
yeah. It's actually, his quote is actually different because I looked up, okay, what did he
Yeah,
say
I
when
got
I'm
it wrong.
titling the yeah, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the kind of the crown at the end of Underground Agent 6 was Loose Booty. Even though Thaxter wasn't a part of it, that song, it happened so fast. Like I played the bass, Bruce the two guitars, all in one session. Like, not let's get this perfect.
It sounds
you know.
tight.
Yeah.
I love it.
It sounds spontaneous and fun.
And for us,
So this is the first time I'm realizing ever that like, oh, the quicker you do it, the more you don't like hone in on something to the point where you ruin it, the more fun it is, the better it becomes. This is the first time I learned that.
that's kind of what this show is. That's what the Hip Hop Platypus is. That's what our logo is. That's the theme of how we go, right? How dope are you right now? Bow!
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Graffiti.
So I don't know what else. I mean, what?
I have one last question.
Yes.
And then that should probably be it. Why was it called Underground Agent 6? Was there a reason to that?
That flyer that he was talking about while you smile, that flyer that he was talking about where Thaxter said, just make me all black, just my teeth and my eyeballs. It was around that time where we were trying to think of logos, and I would always just draw your teeth. Do you remember that? That's a very Underground Agent 6 history bit.
I
would
that
just be like,
sketchbook.
how's this? Just constant pictures
I
of your
have
teeth.
that sketchbook with all the band names written on it.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I have that.
Wow. I want to see that.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's gonna show up.
Oh, is it in the storage?
It's right here.
Oh man, I need to see
But
that.
I have like 7 sketchbooks I'd have to go through.
I mean, if you remember the story, then or any of the alt names, I don't remember anything.
bro,
So I don't
they're
even know
all
the
written
story.
down. I illustrated some of that. Like,
Okay,
don't worry.
go for it.
No, I'll get it.
No, I understand.
Right.
But he wants to know, why was it called Underground Agent 6?
Well,
This I don't know, or I can't remember.
my brother was deciding but my younger brother was getting into biochemistry, and he started getting heavy into science and the periodic table of elements. And I had just started getting into tattoos. I had just got my back tattoo done by G Cosmo at 222 Tattoos, and they had just asked me to be in a magazine. So, my back was
Oh
in
yes,
a-
that is right.
feeling like a rock star.
Oh yeah,
right?
that must have really boosted your ego.
It did. It did. I had a hot ass woman. I had a red motorcycle like Akira. I had long ass hair. I had
Yeah.
cool ass tattoos. I'm in a tattoo magazine. I got a rock band. And I'm the loss prevention trainer.
Yeah.
It was great times.
Tattoos.
So my brother got hydrogen, the first element on the periodic table.
Okay.
I got the 6th element, carbon.
And this was all together.
Right. All life is carbon based. Right. So I liked that. Carbon focused can become a diamond. Right. And it's 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons. Right. So so that's satanic.
What a
Right.
jerk. Look what he did to me.
However-
He dragged me into Satan cult.
Judeo-Christianity, all life was created by the 6th day, which is interesting since life is the 6th element. And I thought that was very cool.
Okay.
And that became the theme of the Underground Agent 6.
So like pi, he
Right.
got hooked onto the number 6 and was seeing it everywhere.
Right. And not only
And it all
that,
connected.
I was telling you that I see through channels from the Sixth Sense site. I was
Right.
trying to see the future, like I'm from the future.
Uh-huh.
right? And which is funny because back then I was telling everybody about The Watchmen, no one cared.
Right.
I was telling everyone about The Dark Knight Returns, no one cared. And now, those are the big shits right now, the movies and all of that. I was telling everybody way back when.
So Underground Agent.
So the Underground Agent 6, we were just going to be this independent band.
But why that name?
Well, it was like, back then, I just started getting into marijuana, and marijuana was very illegal.
Right.
And so you had to be in the underground, the know, to get it.
Okay.
So you had to be closely associated with that. Us in Pittsburgh, as Pittsburgh Pirates, there was like every member of my family is half gangster, even though they're professional. And there was just something about being associated with the street and that connection. I really liked it. And so I've always been a part of underground, like even now, you know. Like,
I feel like he hadn't thought this through, and he was like, I'll figure out some way to answer this question.
no, but it was all a culmination of it, so much so that I got it tattooed on my wrist.
Right.
It was so because it was so meaningful to me.
So Underground Agent 6.
But so when we ended on Loose Booty,
Yeah.
it was such a positive end and such a like, wait, why are you ending? This is so good.
Kinda, yeah.
That's how things ended for you and me for a long time.
Yeah.
And then we would come in and out here and there
Yeah.
for little art projects or whatever.
Right.
And now here we are now.
Oh man, we'll get into Doo-Doo the Worm someday.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then here we are now. So so the Underground Agent 6 started like the end of 95 going into 96.
Something
and now
like
here
that.
we are 2025.
I know, crazy, huh?
Yeah. And we
Troy
stayed
and Abed
true.
in the morning. No, oh, sorry.
We stayed true the entire time to ourselves
Yeah.
and to art and to creativity.
Yeah.
Like, so we weren't punks.
Right.
Even way back when, we knew who we were and we stuck to it. I'm really proud
With
of that.
some friggin' slaloms in there.
I'm really proud of it. But we also raised families and we did it right. Our kids aren't fuck ups and they're not assholes.
I guess we have to release some Underground Agent 6 stuff.
Oh, I never thought you'd ever say that. That's crazy.
Well,
Let's do it.
it exists on this plane. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that, like, I have this whole catalog of my own now, but it doesn't need to be in that. It could just be its own thing.
It's so weird now because music is so whatever now. It just got, once the internet got big, okay, so you and I watched going to the mall was the thing because there was no internet.
Right.
So it was connection. You could see people and things and what's new. And you could go to the music stores and they would tell you what the new music is, right?
Yeah.
We started seeing the rap section. It was a 4-foot section.
Right.
And then it was an 8-foot section.
Yeah.
Soon it was the entire fucking store, right? We watched that whole thing happen.
Speaking of rap.
When the internet happened,
Well,
music got so goddamn big. There's no way to know bands. Right?
Speaking of rap.
People might like the Underground Agent 6.
You named a genre. So the Underground Agent 6 is like basically like funk, rock rap, maybe early rock rap, but not in the like Korn way.
Not the Soundgarden way.
No. So that was basically, if you want to know what we sounded like, and when you listen to our thing when it gets released, it's basically an original band that sounds like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's basically what we were.
I would say, yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Rage Against the Machine sometimes.
And I think at that time, it was a little bit embarrassing because you didn't want to sound like anyone else.
Right.
Even though we knew we sounded like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Right.
But like now when I look back, everyone now is trying to sound like each other.
Absolutely.
You know?
Not only that, but it was very Bruce Lee back then. Like, disciplines didn't want to cross.
Yeah.
So when the Chili Peppers did it,
Yeah.
whoa. When Primus did this, what is this weird shit Primus is doing?
Right.
What the fuck is that, right? Whoa. And we were a part of that. And
Right.
you just get lumped in.
Yeah. Underground Agent 6, y'all.
My speed is impregnable.
Whoa, turn that shit down.
My speed is impregnable. Oh yeah, really fun now. talk, eyeballing booty. Not just smoking pimp talk, grooving with the 6-string bass on. Ricky ticky tacky tapping hot hat, rim shots, dragon scale at the end of the roll call. Underground agents making love with sound, y'all. Running through the city, gripping gritty like a mad bull. Make me therapy, music, I love you. Vibrate with the ride, slide downtown. Undercover tracks, overcrowded, got the 6 sound. Love nuts with the boat, I joke, I trip to the studio, spitting my note. Don't air motherfuckers to the mold I broke. Cannot, I pack my bowl, let's talk. Not a care in the whirlwind, entranced with the vibration. I got myself in deep wind, I'm stuck in the vibration. Not a care in the whirlwind, entranced by the vibration. I got myself in deep wind, got myself in deep wind. Loose protein, squeezing natural screw juice from the tree of plenty that we're growing up to produce. Fun under sun, under moon, over great sea. Hypnotize the planet with the loose punk beats. Never walk a straight line, fumble down my life path. Always causing trouble, but always got a belly laugh. Meet me in the shadows for a ticket, it's the new sound. Underground Agent 6, playing for the get down. Always got a feeling for the real, believe me. Take a sucker out for a deal, first came in. Look at Lady Low if she got what's swaying me. All around feeling is a flow, loose blue tag. Not to care in the whirlwind, entranced with the vibration. Got myself in deep wind, I'm stuck in the vibration. Not a care in the whirlwind, entranced with the vibration. Got myself in deep wind, I got myself in deep wind. Loose protein, travel left the wind, barefoot, walking through the woods with the mind frame. I feel good, feel the funk in my pocket, have a limp walk, eyeballing booty. Not just broken pimp talk, grooving with the 6-string bass on. Wicked ticky tappy tapping hi-hats, rim shots, dragon scaling at the end of the roll call. Underground agents making love with sound, y'all. Remember for me, trying to learn a lesson. Don't blind your mind, don't live like guessing. Look at me moving through stage confession. Vibe loose, moving the message, the lesson. Not a care in the whirlwind, entranced by the vibration. I got myself in deep wind, I'm stuck in the vibration. Not a care in the whirlwind, I'm tranced with the vibration. Got myself in deep wind, I'm stuck in the vibration.
We'll be right back.